Hey everyone, this is Kelly. I am back today with a double page Project Life process video. This is a double page plus an insert actually, so I will be adding a 6x12 insert between my two 12x12 layouts. I don't own any 6x12 inserts, so I'm just using a 12x12 insert and just trimming it down so that way I can use it as the 6x12 insert. I had a ton of photos this week. I actually ended up putting 20 photos in for this week's spread. And I'm usually pretty good about paring down my photos and only grabbing maybe one or two from a certain event. But I had a lot of photos that I wanted to use, which I'll go into a little bit more detail on what's happening in the pictures as we get moving along in this process video. But again, I am starting out showing you that I really don't have any clue where I'm putting things. I really just play around with things and move the photos around and the embellishments around, the Project Life cards around until I'm happy with the color distribution and just the different products, and just until it looks pleasing to the eye. I don't really have a rhyme or reason why I put things where other than visual triangles, which I talked about in a previous video, and just trying to group photos together that go together. So for instance, the three photos on the left-hand side of the spread, those were all taken the same day, and I'm going to add a 3x4 journaling card in that area as well to talk about what's happening in those three photos. So currently I am flipping through cards in the most recent Studio Calico kit. I believe this is the June kit that I am using at the moment. I try really hard to make this kit work, and I was really struggling. I'm going to be honest, I've been having a hard time using Studio Calico kits recently. I think it's because of how my Project Life style is evolving. I am finding that I am really liking to be pretty scrapbook heavy. And when I say that, I really, really love scrapbook embellishments. I love embellishing my traditional 12x12 layouts, and I'm finding that I'm enjoying that process with my Project Life as well. And there's not a lot of embellishments with the Studio Calico kits, and I have been struggling to use them. I love the cards. I love the quality. I love the color. I love that they're double-sided. I love how unique they are. But because they are so unique and because of the color range that they use, it's a lot deeper and a lot richer than what I traditionally would go for. So I don't have a whole lot of product in my stash that matches the Studio Calico cards for me to use my stash as a supplement with their kit. So I was really, really struggling, and I ended up deciding to switch it up, which I am showing you here. I had some Project Life cards that I actually just purchased from the Becky Higgins shop. This is the digital Oh My Heart Project Life kit, and I did not print all of the cards. I just picked out some that I thought that would work well for the colors that I had and for the spread that I have. So I'm flipping through some of the cards. I already have some out on my spread that I'm thinking about using. But when I went to purchase that kit, it didn't show all of the cards that were included. And if I didn't already know how much I love the Oh My Heart collection, it is my favorite Paige Evans collection so far, then I don't know if I would have purchased it. So I wanted to flip through those cards in case you are on the fence about purchasing that same collection. I just wanted you to get an idea of what is going to be included in that kit. So I've chosen the cards that I'm going to use on the first part of the spread, and the first part includes the left side 12x12 spread, and then also the center insert, which is the front part of the 6x12 insert. So I went ahead and added some journaling using my We Are Memory Keepers typecast typewriter just to get down what I want to say about what's happening on this part of the spread. Instead of stamping the dates out on my title card, I use that this week card, which I am working on right now. I use that to type out just a summary of what happened each day this week. And then I'm going to use my roller date stamp to add the date to each part of that grid design there on that card. So that way the date range will be included in the spread, but it's not on the title card. Now, my dates for Project Life, I don't really like how my week is split up. Because I started Project Life on January 1st, my week started on a Wednesday, and I was new to Project Life. I wasn't really sure how to go about splitting up the week, so I decided just to go for a full week. So my weeks in Project Life go from a Wednesday to a Tuesday, which is really random and really strange. And if I could go back, I think that I would have just had that first week be a short week, and I just would have done Wednesday to Sunday and then had week number 2 go from Monday to Sunday. So right now I'm just adding embellishments. I have a ton of product left over from the Oh My Heart collection. Like I said, it was my favorite pink paisley collection and I hoarded it a little bit. So I have a lot of the chipboard and the puffy stickers. I actually bought 2 packages of the die cuts. And I'm also mixing in a little bit of, I believe it's the Pick Me Up collection as well. So just kind of mixing and matching, and again, creating the visual triangles with the different flowers and the colors just around the spread just to help your eye dance around. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead and start walking you through the week and just giving you an idea of the type of photos that I take. I think that a lot of people have an idea in their head that they have to have a really busy and really active life in order to do project life. And I do not. I pretty much go to work and I come home. We occasionally do things on the weekend. We're very much homebodies. And I still manage to take a lot of photos throughout the week. I just kind of keep my eye open for different things that happen that are routine for us, because that's what this project is really about for me, is about capturing those everyday moments, those little moments that really make up our life. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into the spread. I'm going to start with the 12 by 12 insert that I'm working on right now. And my title card is going to go in the top left-hand corner. I did use the small alphas from the Oh My Heart collection to add week 24 above those books. And I like that pop of color that it adds. I like that the title is not super large. I love the Oh, the Memories portion of the Project Life card. So I thought that was a great way to start out my spread. The photo next to that is a collage photo of my dog, Keith. He can fall asleep sitting up. He's very talented. So this was a picture where he was sitting up and he had his head kind of propped up on the couch, and then a few seconds later he was asleep. I think he was actually begging for M&Ms or something that I was eating at the time. And no, I did not give him any M&Ms. I know chocolate is very bad for dogs, so I did not give him anything. In the center column of that 12 by 12 spread, there is another photo of our other dog. His name is Liam. It's going to be on the left-hand side of that portion of the spread. And this was actually taken during a storm. I'm very thankful that our dogs are not afraid of thunder. And it was taken, we had crazy, crazy, crazy severe weather this day. The storms were just insane. Now, that photo, when I printed it, I had intended on adding some stamping, but the photo was a little bit too busy with our windowsills and the furniture that he was sitting on. So I decided to go ahead and just trim off the white border of the photo and then trim the photo down quite a bit. And I just added it onto a piece of white cardstock. And then I'm going to add this pink strip of pattern paper that is from the 6x6 Oh My Heart paper pack. And I'm just going to add that on there for a pop of color. I'm also going to cut a tab to add onto that. I do not have a tab punch, but I did purchase a tab die from Ellie Studio and it worked out great. So I went ahead and just cut that on some white cardstock. And then I'm going to use some ink with a stamp that I had purchased from Citrus Twist. It's all about weather. And I'm going to stamp severe weather on that. And then I'll tuck that right in next to the photo. I will add some machine stitching with my sewing machine a little bit later on as well. The spot next to that photo will be that really pretty purple card with the large ampersand, and I will add a few puffy stickers to that just to add a little bit of dimension. So I add a heart and then a couple small flowers. The photo next to that is of our cat Tucker. He has been a lot more attentive lately. His brother, his litter mate, has been enjoying going outside, and Tucker's too afraid to go outside so far. So he has been snuggling and cuddling with us a lot more lately. So I snapped a picture of him just kind of snuggled up on my legs one night when we were laying down and getting ready for bed. And I added a You Are So Sweet die cut, and then I also added a chipboard heart. The card next to that is going to be a smaller photo. It was a screenshot that I took of a news article. A festival that we really enjoy going to in town was canceled because of COVID, so I added that. And then the 3 photos on the bottom, those are all photos from a shopping trip that I went on with my son. He needed some summer clothes, and I was off work this day. So we headed to go shopping to pick up those clothes. I did not realize that the fitting rooms were closed because of COVID. Otherwise, I just would have bought everything online. But because we were out, he wanted to stop and get some ice cream. So we just stopped at this little ice cream shop and got some ice cream. So I just journaled about that, about going shopping and the dressing rooms being closed, and then the flavors of ice cream that we both chose. I did add a couple die cuts to that pairing of photos. So the two photos in the right hand 4x6 area. And I will add some machine stitching to that as well. And then I did add a love you sticker that has that really pretty copper. It's not really foiling, but it has a copper finish to it. The front part of the 6x12 insert, as I mentioned, I have that card at the top that just gives a recap of the week. I also took a screenshot of my YouTube channel, and then on that 3x4 card where I added that chipboard word create, I just journaled a little bit about how I've started making YouTube videos again. And then the bottom photo is actually a collage. It's 3 different photos of our dog Keith, and I took them when we were outside with him. He loves to jump up at this tree that we walk past when we bring them inside. Our yard is partially fenced in, so we have to take them out on leashes to get to the fenced in area, and then they run around and play, and then we put them back on leashes and then bring them back inside. Well, we pass this tree every time, and the dog thinks that he's going to be able to climb up it and get a squirrel or a bird or something. So he always jumps up at the tree. So I wanted to make sure that I got some pictures of that so I could remember that memory, because I think as he gets older, that's something that he will stop doing. So now we've moved on to the second part of the layout, and on the 6x12 insert, I have a photo of our cat Cloud. She is sitting in front of some really pretty flowers at our neighbor's house, so I snapped that picture of her. I have a filler card underneath that says today this was the best. I will add that yellow puffy flower to that, and then I will also add a little bit later on in the video, I will add a teal strip of hearts to that same card. The photo next to that is a photo of whipped coffee. I am a huge coffee fan, but I am struggling to like this whipped coffee, and it looks so delicious. So I really want to enjoy it. So I just talked a little bit about that. And then the photo that will be on the bottom part of that 6x12 insert is a picture of our cat. I went into the kitchen and one of the cabinet doors had been left open, and thankfully I looked in there before I closed it because she was asleep on the top shelf. So I am trying to make the most of these cards and to use them that in a way that works for me. So that is something, as I mentioned, Heba from my little journal, she is one of my favorite project lifers, and that's something that she says continuously, make the products work for you. So that's something that I keep in mind as I am making my spreads. So I am trimming down some of the 6x6 papers from the paper pad to make them into filler cards, because I don't really have a whole lot to say on the 12x12 side of the spread, because these are all from the same event, and very rarely do I do that. I always try to pare down my photos, pick 1 or 2 from an event and call it done. But there were so many fun pictures. I really wanted to use that sunset picture. I had that photo of my son and my husband, some pictures of my niece and my son holding sparklers, and then I had a candid shot of them just sitting around the fire, and I really wanted to use all of them. So I decided just to go for it and just to do that whole 12x12 page just of that single day. I'm also just using portions of the cards to create die cuts or embellishments around the spread. So that More Fun tag was actually backed on to a green Project Life filler card, and I didn't really like the green. It didn't really go with my spread, so I cut it out, added it on a pink piece of paper. I also cut out that Per Cuteness. It was part of another filler card, and added it to the filler card that talks about my cat being in that cabinet, and it just worked really well, and it added some color and just some texture, and that's what I'm all about, especially when working with Empockin pages. I want to make sure that I have dimension and that I have all those fun pops of color. Here are some still shots of the spread. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about the products that I used, the stamps that I used, how any of this came together, please feel free to leave me a comment below. As I've mentioned in my past few videos, if you enjoyed this video, please like it or leave me a comment. That's the only way that I know that you want to continue seeing these types of videos. So I really encourage you to do that. It really helps me in knowing what types of videos I should be putting out there. I do want to thank you all so much for watching, and I will be back again soon.